morning from downtown Blue Ridge. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Good morning. Let's just say this. I hope everybody's okay out there. It was a tough night in North Georgia, all over the South as this storm was coming through. So, hey, JR.
Yes, sir.
What you got going on back there?
Work.
All right, you're awful noisy back there this morning. All right, just checking. You got a lot of noise going on, JR.
It's like watching Morning Joe. There's always background noise.
Oh, that was wrong. So JR here at Circuit World's ready to move some of these things out today and help deliver them to you. So you come down Circuit World, Blue Ridge. We hope you're okay, family and friends. We have several reports of fires last night in our area in North Georgia with complete structure damage and loss. So we just hope everybody's okay out there. It was a very tough night here where we're at this morning. So moving right along, we hope these storms move out of the way and no flash flooding. Just be safe. And before I get into some call it a rant, but a couple things I want to talk about. Before I get into that, please adhere to all these safety warnings out there from your local emergency management centers, EMA, the sheriff office, whoever it may be. Adhere to them, please. Flash flood warnings and so on. Okay, so that's number one. At 8:15, we'll have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. He'll be in here in just a couple minutes. We have some great viewer questions, some of very much interest. I'm very interested in this morning. And then at 8:45, we have the All-Star Political Panel. Now we have the return of somebody. Somebody may show up this morning you haven't seen in a little while, so you want to tune into that. We have a friend stopping by. That's the All-Star Political Panel at 8:45. And then at 9:45, right? Get my numbers straight here. At 9:45, we have the Pet of the Week with the Humane Society. Now, you'll have to, I want to ask forgiveness up front. I don't know if I have an hour's sleep. I have storm all night long, and I have a dog that can't take storms. So I don't know how prepared I am. But let's start with this, all right? You know, I was thinking about it this week, and I get up, and it's every single day. And I don't know if schools still have a playground. Do they have a playground? I don't know if they do. And I don't know if they have recess, and I'm not trying to be silly. I don't know what's going on in schools nowadays, if they get a recess and if they have a playground. But you remember your mom taught you to say, "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never harm me." Okay? And your mom sent you off to school and said, just ignore those bad people. Just ignore those names that people call each other. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names could never harm me. Are you just shocked this morning that you wake up and Samantha Bee? First of all, I don't know who the hell Samantha Bee is. Is she on CNN? I don't know what she is, but supposedly she's famous to somebody, not me, because I don't care. But Samantha Bee has called Ivanka Trump. Okay, these are professionals on TV. All right, Samantha Bee has called Ivanka Trump the C word. We'll let you figure that out. Even I won't go there. Okay, so there's outrage that she needs to be fired, but the left is coming to her rescue and say all of us C's have to stick together. What a crazy world. Then you have a bigot like Joy Reid that MSNBC says nothing to see here. If we ignore it, it'll go away. And Joy Reid is actually just a flat-out bigot, a homophobe, whatever you want to call it. She has the dog hacked her computer and hacked her computer and wrote all these anti-racist, gay, homophobic, bigot statements. And then this week, I turn on the TV and MSNBC is having a town hall with the white guy. Now, don't get mad at me because there was 4 people on the panel and little Chrissy Hayes, right? Little Chrissy Hayes with the glasses. He was the white guy on the panel. Sorry, you can get mad at me if you want. But the title I'm watching this week is called Everyday Racism in America. And then I look next to little Chrissy Hayes, and it's Joy Reid. And I'm like, okay, she's going to help me with my problem? She's going to help me overcome being, a white male racist? Because obviously, if you just woke up and you're white and you're male and, let's say, 40 and above, you have no choice. That's what they say you are. And I'm looking, there's Joy Reid, this bigot, helping me through with this. And it's name after name after name. And then Roseanne Barr gets the axe this week for saying Valerie Jarrett, had a run-in with the Muslim Brotherhood and ended up looking like a monkey. I mean, don't get mad at me. It happened. So I'm saying, okay. And then I find out, because I didn't know this week, I found out something new. Valerie Jarrett is a black woman. I didn't know that. I mean, she looks as black to me as Rachel Dolezal. You remember the lady that was at the NRA out there at Seattle that claimed to be African American and she got caught? Little white girl from the Midwest or whatever. So I find out this week that Valerie Jarrett is a black woman. I didn't know that. And Roseanne says, hey, you know what? What happens if you push, wasn't quite the chocolate and peanut butter. You didn't get a Reese, but, she said, hey, you push a Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes together and you get a monkey. Well, Roseanne got fired. Boom. ABC. But the interesting thing is, Isa, is that his name? The CEO of ABC? He calls Valerie Jarrett first. That's his first phone call. Now, Valerie Jarrett explains and says that the CEO, the chairman of ABC, called to apologize in advance, say, we're sorry you have to endure this hatred that you've been subjected to, and we want you to know that we're going to end our relationship with Roseanne Barr. Now, that's almost to me like the day that Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch were on the plane in the tarmac in Arizona in Phoenix. We're just left to wonder what really happened in that conversation. We're left to wonder what happened that day between Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton. Did they talk about their grandchildren, as they say? So what really happened on that phone call the other day? Maybe Valerie Jarrett said, fire her? Maybe. Maybe she made the call. I don't know. But we find that out. And then, lo and behold, does anybody say that anymore? I do. Lo and behold, Starbucks closes for an hour, 97 billion stores that they have, to do anti-bias training or I don't know. So that, I think at the Starbucks training, they made them sing red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in Starbucks' sight, no matter who walks through the door. We must love them, care for them, and let them use the men's room. And if they're a man that decide to go in the ladies' room, we need to just to say that's their choice. What the hell? And this just happened this week. I don't know what I'm talking about. I really don't. Oh. And if you figure it out, can you let me know? Because I think the whole damn world's went crazy. I'm sorry, it's Friday. I'm not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be a night show, everything like that. But the things I have to watch. Now, President Donald Trump, moving right along. We'll get Rick's opinion on all this in a minute. Never know, Dr. Willie might say something, so I don't want to leave him out of the loop. But the guy's name is it Deshae D'Souza? Okay. Now, if you don't know D'Souza's crime, okay, the government claimed D'Souza made illegal campaign. Now see, pay attention to this, okay? I told you yesterday, and on, okay? I call them the city slickers. You got this guy, Donald Trump from Queens/Manhattan, #1 city slicker. You got #2, Joe DeGenova and his wife. Don't want to leave her out, boy, because she can go on a show and really put it out there. Joe DeGenova, okay? He is hitting show after show with a tat. That's city slicker #2. And then last but not least, Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani, okay? So, now, they have a plan. And they have the special counsel's head spinning around, and they've got everybody's head spinning around because, as I always say, I know Bob Mueller, not to make light of it, the special counsel, he is a sharp guy. These are very intelligent crooks, okay? I mean, there's the crook that breaks the window that knows there's a security camera, but the dumb person comes in and steals something knowing the security camera is. That's your dumb crook. But these are very, very highly intelligent, well-trained crooks. Sorry to put it that way. That being said, okay, President Donald Trump pardons D'Souza. But what was D'Souza's crime? The government claims D'Souza made illegal campaign contributions. Illegal campaign contributions. So I want D'Souza. He did his time in jail. You should look at the whole story. But I want him pardoned. Personally, I want him pardoned. I've read a book or two that he wrote. I forget which ones he had out there. I've watched documentaries, and I watched the story about him going to prison. But what did he go to prison for? Told you already. The government claims he made illegal campaign contributions. Let's see now. Where do I hear this? Oh. Alvaredia, or whatever his name, Stormy Daniels' attorney, the $130,000, the media, they're all trying to claim that was what? An illegal campaign contribution. Interesting. Coincidence? I don't know. Now here's the second one. My man, Rod Blagojevich, with the nice hair out in Illinois. You got to remember Rob. I love Rob. I mean, he was my kind of criminal I tuned into every night. You knew he was sleazy, all right? I mean, he was destined for prison. He's an Illinois governor, right? That's where they go when they retire. So here he is, the guy in the hair. So Obama gets, he's got a U.S. Senate seat, and he's now king of the world there at the Oval Office. So Rob says, hey, I have a Senate seat. Let's see what it's worth to people, okay? So what did Rod Blagojevich really go to prison for? Insinuating the sale of a Senate seat to individuals. Supposedly, now Rob says, I never said that I wanted money. I never said I want. I just thought it ought to be worth something, okay? President Donald Trump is thinking about pardoning Rod Blagojevich. What is the parallel there? In what way? Oh, I don't know. James Comey implies, they're trying to imply obstruction, and they're trying to say President Donald Trump sit in the room and say, my friend Michael Flynn, what do you think of him? You think he's a bad guy? Man, I'd like to see this go away from Michael. Oh no. He insinuated he wanted something done illegal. He obstructed justice, all the above, right? Blagojevich, not the same thing, but close, very close. And then there's Martha Stewart. And the only thing I can figure out is Donald Trump wants half price on sheets. That's all I can figure out. I don't know why he's going to get Martha Stewart out of the clink. Well, she's out of the clink, but I don't know why he's going to pardon her. I'm not for sure. Maybe he watches the show in the afternoons. It is a nice, quiet thing, and he does know how to do now the strawberry rosettes or whatever that Martha does. So there you go. I don't know if anything I said made sense. Oh, by the way, we may have a denuclearization deal. Mike Pompeo's working on it. There will be a letter delivered to President Donald Trump from Kim Jong-un directly in response to Donald Trump's letter. What an exciting day. Pen pals. Here you go. Who'd have thought it, right? These guys are pen pals. Oh man, this is going to work out. So that's happening. What else is happening? Tariffs. Canada, Mexico. Mexico, you will pay for that wall. Canada, Mexico, 10% on aluminum, 25% on steel. If you think you're going to run things through NAFTA, you're going to be a diversion from other countries, bring steel in, and then ship them in under the NAFTA deal, you got another thing coming. So I want to say this. I know there's a lot of controversy. I know there's a lot of people that have actually called Ben Sasse, this is the dumbest move we could ever make in tariffs on trade. But I got to give you this. President Donald Trump has taken the chance, and we need to stand with him, America, because there's only one way at this time to fix this trade imbalance, this trade imbalance, is to pull some tough moves and make the EU, right? The poor EU, the poor Canadians, the hosers, okay? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, okay? And the Mexico and China, watch. I just want you to be here on the day when the news will not report how much the trade deficit has shrunk. It will happen. He won't stop. I don't know. I'd leave anything out? Let's take a break. I'm running a little late. Dr. Whaley will be in here. Hey, this show could go any direction. Pen pals, what did you think? Did you think Kim and Trump? The letter delivered today. I wonder if it'd be a regular mailman. I'd like the regular mailman to come in and give the letter. Take us a break.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I've had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something.
Hey, we're back and we're at Circuit World here in downtown Blue Ridge. We hope everybody is okay. A lot of bad storms came through last night. We hope you're all right this morning. Please, as I asked you earlier, adhere, listen to, pay attention to all of your local warnings, your law enforcement, flash floods, very dangerous. We want to thank the Georgia Cancer Specialist for associated with Northside Hospital for providing this segment now. Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. And psychologically reassure your dogs this morning that the weather's
Yes,
passed.
talk to them.
Yeah, my wife got the dogs up in the bed last night. One of them's there all the time, but in the middle of the night, the other two had to come up because of the lightning
50
and thunder.
pounds?
No,
All right,
11.
I got the
10 pounds. Okay.
No, I got the 50-pound baby that just it cries and everything. So
all right.
I agree with you. Reassure your pets that you love them and it's
Yes,
okay and
that's
it's
good.
over.
Yeah, it's over. All right, I'm wearing my international tie today for two reasons.
Okay.
What do you know about the spelling bee?
I don't. I know there is a spelling bee, but I
It
don't.
ended last night.
Okay.
It was a brutal. ESPN went on for hours. The longest round Scripps spelling bee, longest,
know it was last
the
night.
longest one in history. And I couldn't. I didn't ever even heard the last 30 words. I didn't have any idea. But once again, this was won by a 14-year-old kid of Asian subcontinent ancestry. And I was looking back, and the last 12 in a row have all been from the Asian subcontinent. It just amazed me. Now, Saturday night I went to graduation here at Fannin. Now, there was graduation everywhere. And I was really impressed with the quality of the kids, the schools they're going to. And, I think our educational system really works. And I agree with things we were saying last week about the opportunities for those kids to go out and do great things. Anyway, so I'm finishing up on that. It was really
I'm glad you
neat.
said that because we had a great conversation last Friday, but at that time you hadn't gone to the
Right.
graduation. And you go to the graduation, you see the young people, and that's why I say it. You watch them, you say, this is a good class. They're all good classes, but this is a good
that was
class.
real
And
good
these
class.
kids have a great opportunity out in front of them. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
They do.
Anything else?
Well, at our
you
president-
sit over there and you listen to everything, and I
Yeah,
never
no.
know, I never know
Okay.
if I'm going to get in trouble.
There's
There's two reasons for this topic.
There's two reasons. Second reason is I'm really proud of the president. Every time I watch him do something, and I hear read Pat Buchanan this morning, by the way, because he hits on this very well. Every time you hear the mainstream media, or particularly the European media, talking about Trump, I get the sneaky retrospect that they could be talking about Teddy Roosevelt. He's got a carrot in one hand and a stick in the other, and it's like he's using them simultaneously. And the way he's dealing with this trade deficit thing, he puts it on and he pulls back a little bit because they've given him some, and he puts it on and he pulls back a little bit. I think the guy's a blinking genius myself. And the rest of the world just doesn't understand him because he's not part of the fraternity that's been there forever. That's what Pat Buchanan was saying this morning. But I'm really proud of what he's doing, and I think this stuff with North Korea is going to go somewhere. And nothing's happened in 30 years. I mean, wherever it goes, he's made a progress.
Well, I don't know if I've said it during your segment before, and I know Rick's heard it multiple times on my show. Every time something like this happens, or some of the comments you made, I always say, I got to give my good friend Frank credit. Frank is the one that always says, everybody's playing checkers and Trump's playing chess.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
Bottom line is that simple. The guy's playing chess.
Yeah, anyway. I'm thinking Teddy Roosevelt when I listen to stuff about him all the time, and I just love Teddy Roosevelt. Anyhow, we got questions to answer this morning,
Ready?
and they're important.
Okay. Yes, they are. Let's start with the first one. What are some natural and healthy ways to fight fatigue? Natural and healthy.
Okay, well, we're going to put Amanda on the spot. Amanda, define what that question is really asking. What do they mean by fatigue?
Fatigue, to me, would be exhaustion.
Okay. All right, Amanda uses exhaustion. Basically, when somebody complains of fatigue, you've got to ask them what they mean. The standard definitions would be sleepiness, tiredness, fatigue, meaning end of the day running out of gas, or low energy. Every one of those is different. And the definition in the brain of pain or some of these other things, happiness, sadness, depends on the observer. So the questions that you have to ask are, what do you really mean by fatigue? If you've got these guys that are working now because the weather, it's raining now, but it's the right season, these guys building houses are working about 10 to 12 hours a day, at least 6 days a week. And when they go home at night, they're tired. And if they are going home at night and then they're having to cut the grass and take care of the kids and they're getting 5 or 6 hours sleep, and then they can talk to you about fatigue, then they're talking really about sleepiness, because physically they're out there carrying lumber and everything else, so they're strong, they're fit, but they're tired from lack of sleep. Then you've got people that are physically unfit. What does the high school coach do when his kids start the football season and they can't do the drills? He runs them up the stadium steps. He puts them in the weight room. He conditions them and makes them stronger by doing exercise. He makes sure that they eat well. So talking about natural stuff, sleeping's natural, exercise is natural, eating well is natural. But when you get into the major causes of fatigue, Amanda, what do you think the major cause of any of those complaints of fatigue is?
Your health balance.
All right, I sent you that one that you're going to show the top part of. Number one is psychological. So the majority of the people who are complaining of fatigue have either anxiety, depression, some sort of hypochondrial disorder, or some sort of use of substances. Let's say they've been using stimulants, or they're drinking too much coffee, or they're smoking too much, or whatever. So really, the first part of it is all in the mental health aspects. The second most common is effects of medications. The blood pressure medicine, or sinus medicine, or things of that sort. And then the physiologic causes of fatigue, diabetes, obesity, hypothyroidism, and that sort of stuff, are way below that. And people who are chronically complaining of fatigue, it used to be prior to like 1940 or so, if somebody was tired and they had consumption or something, it'd be tuberculosis and things of that sort. So really, if you're talking about our group of people today, it's generally because of lack of sleep, driving too hard, the pharmacologic things of, the coffee and all the rest of that stuff, and different sorts of psychological things. So you want to ask yourself a question. Is your complaint of fatigue due to the fact that you have sleep, you get sleepy and you want to drive off the side of the road, or you need to take a nap, or whatever, and that generally is a sleep disturbance, sleep apnea, or not sleeping long enough? Or is it the I'm really kind of strong as an ox, it's not that I'm getting sleepy, I just feel puny, then you're in the depression and that sort of thing. Is that enough, Amanda?
Yes.
Is that enough?
And also,
But that's a real important question.
There's an also. Would you get it over with?
With Dr. Amanda, the diet, whatever else that may be going on.
Yeah, that's what I said. What the football coach does is he makes certain that, one, the kids are getting adequate sleep. In college, they have a training table, right? So they make sure their nutrition is good. And then they exercise them, giving them the exercises it takes to get the skill and the strength it takes to do the job. So we're making the assumption that the people's diet is okay, and that it's not related to a nutritional thing. And then we're beginning with the fact that you've got a healthy body, and then after that, the rest of those things fall. Is that enough?
Yes, it is. We want to thank Georgia Cancer Specialists affiliated with Northside Hospital for this segment. Let's go to our second question. A friend of mine was recently diagnosed with polycystic,
Polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Or PCOS. Does this mean she will not be able to have children, or are there options she should look into?
No, yes. Anything else? Get up
No,
there.
I'm taking back. Wait a minute. Did he
Put
say
up-
no? I told you I didn't have any sleep last night, but did he say no and yes?
Yeah. No, so what is it? How's it begin? Well, does this mean that she will not be able to have children? The answer is no. She will be able to have children. She might have to have a gynecologist help her. And are there options that she should look into? And the answer is yes. So it's no and yes.
Okay.
You got that big, pretty colored chart up there? You got that pretty chart? Okay, that colored, where's my colored pretty chart I want to show? Okay, here you go. First of all, this syndrome is really new in its definition. Polycystic ovarian insulin resistant syndrome, a variety of other causes. And it has been around for a long time and never fully understood. If you look at these overlapping circles, on the right-hand side of that, you've got the circle that says anovulatory symptoms. That means menstrual cycle disorders. Somebody whose periods are 35, they may have 6 periods, 8 periods a year instead of 12. May have periods that are very long, last 2 or 3 weeks at a time, and seem to have difficulty getting pregnant. Then on the left-hand side of the chart over there is females who seem to have a lot of acne. They look like they've got a bit of a beard, or in terms of the hair distribution on their abdomen, have the kind of a hair distribution of a man, and that's due to more testosterone or androgenic hormone being produced by their ovary. So on the one side, you've got an ovary that's not working too good in terms of having 12 menstrual cycles at 28-day intervals a year, or it's making too much androgen on the opposite side. And we used to look at all of these different things as being separate disorders. Now we know if you bring them all together in the middle, most of these things begin early in adolescence when menstrual cycles start. They get gradually worse over time, and they are generally all or most associated with very difficult maintaining of an ideal body weight and obesity. So the polycystic ovarian insulin resistance syndrome has got menstrual cycle disorders over here, it's got hirsutism over here, it's got obesity in the middle, and nobody really knows what causes it. So in terms of the funny menstrual cycles, a good gynecologist can assist with getting pregnant. They can do hormonal things to help with the messed up menstrual cycles. Over here on the hirsutism side and the too much androgens, the endocrinologist can help with the blocking of that. But in the middle, where all that obesity and liver disease and high blood pressure and diabetes comes, this becomes the patient. It's a low carbohydrate, high protein diet, exercise program to get the obesity under control, because there is a resistance to high degrees of insulin which causes obesity, and it generally can't be fixed if the patient won't follow the instructions about diet and exercise. And then there's a drug, metformin, that you give to folks with type 2 diabetes that is used. So anyway, it's really kind of important for people to realize that this disorder is not sort of bad behavior. You fuss at an adolescent who's 14, 15 years old, a girl, and you're gaining too much weight. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. It's all your fault. But if you stop and they go to the doctor, they get the diagnosis that they really do have polycystic ovarian insulin resistance syndrome, they need to be diagnosed early, take the stigma off of them, and then get the doctor to help them with the management. Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Amanda, did I answer the question? To answer the question, I said, you got to take the stigma.
paying attention.
She wasn't. You have to take the stigma off because the obesity in this polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's not their fault, number one. Two, you got to get them in the hands of somebody who knows how to treat the disorder and take the stigma off, and then they've got to follow the treatment. Anyway, so there.
What
But
would cause the disorder if you weren't obese? Because I have.
no. It's not the obesity.
Yeah.
The obesity is the result.
Okay.
Here's what happens. You've got, for reasons that's not understood, your body has a resistance to insulin. It just so happens it's associated with ovaries that that make numerous small cysts instead of making one follicle and one egg a month. And that's what messes up your menstrual cycles. So the menstrual cycle gets messed up in that way. On the opposite side, another patient may have more of the male hormones, so what they get instead of that, or even with it, is they get the tendency to grow a little hair by the time they're 15, or they start getting hair between their belly button and their belt that looks like a boy. That's endocrine. Now, as that goes on, the insulin resistance, eating a regular diet, they begin to get obese because that's associated, but it takes a while for that to occur. That's not their fault. It's the metabolism's fault. And so what happens is mama starts fussing at the kid. She's 15 or 16, says, "You're letting yourself go. You gain weight. Go exercise. You eat too much popcorn," or whatever it is. But they need to get that stigma taken off of them because this is really an endocrine disorder. They ought to be in the hands of a gynecologist at 14 or 15 who will probably do something about hormones. I'm not going to say birth control pills or whatever. And they need to be, if the obesity part gets bad, they need to be in the hands of an endocrinologist that can put them on the metformin and give them the right kind of diet. And it's just that these kids get stigmatized because of their weight and they have these complaints, and they just don't need to be stigmatized. That's what I'm trying to get.
Okay, our next question this morning: heart problems run in my family. My father had his first heart attack at 28 years old. I am 32 and have not had any major issues yet, other than trying to eat healthy for the most part and exercising regularly. Is there anything else I need to do on a regular basis to help prevent heart-related health problems or a heart attack?
Well, we've only got one family member that we've got any track record on, and that's the dad. We don't know the race of the questioner, and I would ask the sports experts here if they can remember a young black man who was drafted by the Boston Celtics right out of high school to play basketball, that in the introduction to him to the sports world on the hardwood floor of the Boston Garden, went out there and bounced a basketball, crushed at his chest, and fell over dead. His name was Gaither. Remember that? Okay. He had hypertrophic subaortic stenosis, which is a structural defect of the heart that's more common in males than in females and can run in families and is non-coronary disease. So the first question we'd ask is, did Dad get an autopsy? Because sudden death at age 28, even if it seems to be the heart, would have, on the natural course of things and in an economically privileged environment, probably have an autopsy because it's unusual. So let's assume, for the sake of argument, that he actually had a heart attack due to atherosclerosis. In that circumstance, this questioner needs to be immediately in the hands of a cardiologist, needs to have testing of the lipids, testing of the homocysteine, testing of several other associated genetic markers of heart disease, and be on a prevention program immediately. Now, at the end of this segment, we usually go to what's in the news today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab what's in the news yesterday and bring it into this argument. We have said here before that the first symptom of high blood pressure, 50% of the time is, Amanda? No, sudden death. So, heads you die, tails you don't. That's the first symptom of high blood pressure. Study just came out yesterday that unrecognized and untreated hypertension now is the #1 health dollar user in the world in terms of healthcare, heart disease. Used to be cancer. Now it's unrecognized hypertension. So that dad might have been hypertensive. The dad might have had a really, really low HDL, the protective one. It's unlikely that at that age the high LDL would have done it, because creating atherosclerosis takes time, and at 28 it'd be pretty hard to plug up your arteries. So anyway, this patient needs to immediately be in the hands of a cardiologist because of history, and it'd be real nice if they went back and could find out a little bit more about Dad, and how many brothers did Dad have, and how many brothers did Granddad have on that side of the family, because we really don't have a lot of information here.
Well, obviously, when you go in for an examination, the questionnaire, there are so many different health issues that they check or ask genetic related questions, and heart disease and heart attack is very important. So genetically, if it runs in the family genetically, what's that increase the risk if Dad? Now, if you knew Dad, if you know now that Dad is white, not really been overweight, but a smoker, and he had a heart attack at like 53, then what would you say then? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I am. I want you to imagine that you meet a guy, and he's tall, very lightly complected, redheaded, and he has buck teeth. And you meet his father, and he's tall, redheaded, lightly complected, and he has buck teeth. And you meet his brother, who's tall, redheaded, lightly complected with buck teeth, and the guy says, I got a boy, he's 14, I don't want to try and introduce you to him. Well, you know what that boy's going to look like. In a family where that much family history of heart disease is present. Granddaddy had heart disease at 52, Dad had heart disease at 62, because Dad should have his a decade later than his granddad did. Then that genetics, you can remember I had a talk, we talked about life is a 5-card poker hand, but you don't get a draw. So you've got a genetic package that you can play better or worse. So my genetic package is not too good. So that's why I tried to run for 40 years and try to eat right and everything. So to answer your question, if Dad was a smoker, then you certainly don't want to smoke, but that's not the only risk factor. So you got to know all the risk factors: the cholesterol, the blood pressure, the homocysteine, the exercise, stress in his life, and tobacco, and turn them all around and live a better life.
Dr. Whaley, I appreciate it. Anything else before we leave this?
Yeah, this one's really important. There was a study that came out yesterday. We're talking about these kids from the high school last week. They're graduating and they're 18. This is the first time I've ever seen this studied. This is 275,000 adolescents. That's not a small number. Between the ages of 12 and 21, current as of 2018. The number of those kids who are going to use a substance in that age groups, those substances are alcohol, tobacco, or marijuana. Historically, number one has been alcohol and tobacco. So if a 15-year-old's going to experiment with something, he's going to smoke a cigarette or drink a beer. As of today, number one is marijuana. Number one is marijuana. And if marijuana is the first one they play with, then it has increased the chances that marijuana will become a habit, or they will go into other drugs. And I think that's one of the reasons that we go back and look a decade or 2 decades ago, and the kids smoked and mama said quit, and they drank a few beers on the weekend. We did not have as much in the way of real drug abuse problems with adolescents and young adults as we have today.
Thank you, Dr. Whaley.
Is that enough?
Yes, it is.
All right.
We want to thank the Georgia Cancer Specialists affiliated with Northside Hospital. We appreciate them every week bringing this segment to you. Don't forget, if you have a question for Dr. Whaley, you send that to info, I-N-F-O, at fetchernews.com. Put in the subject line, ask the doc, and we'll get the doc the questions throughout the week and try to get you an answer here, or he may email you back directly and answer your question. Don't forget, info at fetchernews.com, ask the doc. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, Rick and a friend that's been traveling a little bit, so we may hear a little bit about some travels, is going to join us on the couch here right after these messages.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I've had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love, because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my life.
And we're back. We're at Circuit World here in downtown Blue Ridge, and we actually see the sun shining outside. Ma'am, did you wander in?
I need to buy a television.
Do you?
Yeah, but
Well,
it only
let's-
can play Fox. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, JR could set the channel and lock it.
Okay.
He's got a channel lock. He's got channel lock.
This is the spy that came in from the rain.
That was fun. That was funny, right? Channel lock.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
wonder if
funny, but I got it.
It wasn't funny. Oh, it's funny. It's good to have Jane back with us. She's been traveling a little bit, and she gets an opportunity to come over and sit in from time to time. The sun is shining. It is beautiful. But we're starting every segment today telling you, listen to all of the warnings, notices, notifications that are out there from your local law enforcement or whoever it may be. Emergency management services. It was a tough night. You may still have flash flooding in your area, so just pay attention, be careful, and we hope you're safe this morning. It was a tough night last night. Rick and Jane, good to have you back, Jane.
11 o'clock last night, my wife said she thought the roof was coming down. It rained so hard. 2 o'clock, it rained from 11 to 2, and it's unbelievable.
11 to 2. I thought it was, it started a little earlier, but when you say rain, it rained from 11 to 2. I got you on that.
The lightning and the thunder.
I thought it was closer to 3, but maybe that's when it just was flashing a little bit, but you're right. It was almost all night. It just felt like it was all night storm.
Man, I'm telling you.
We had a couple booms at the house, and we know, and our prayers go out to the families that have damage and total structure lost this morning from lightning strike. Hit a house right here locally.
Right, locally, yeah. Really a good family from this area. They run a business. They have big hearts. They look out for the Humane Society. They look out for all the charitable organizations in town, and I'm just sorry for their loss.
Well, we have that, and we have last night. Your Dr. Whaley. I don't know if you know that guy, but anyhow, he was saying, hey, comfort your pets this morning.
Yeah, we had that. Of course, he slept through it, but we had lightning, terrible lightning, but no thunder. So I was thinking, well, praise God, it's so far up. That's kind of unusual. But our dogs, one dog would do this every time, and then the other one was just whining. So I got her out of the cage and let her sleep in the bed. They were traumatized.
Sassafras, 50 pounds, crying, walked the floor.
Yeah. Oh,
we have wood floors, so we heard her pad.
Tick, tick, tick,
she would
huh?
pad through the living room, pad back in, claw on you on the side of the bed. Do you know it's raining? Yes, I know it's raining. Do you know it's raining? Yes, I know it's raining. And we heard a couple booms that was just,
those are
like
terrifying.
sonic,
Oh,
the
yeah.
sound of a sonic
You can almost
boom.
feel the concussion.
Yeah.
You had thunder too?
We did. We had a couple booms.
We had little rumbling, but huge light, bright as day. When
Well, I
did
hope-
have
Yeah, it was more. You're right. It wasn't as noisy as it was bright.
Yeah.
A lot
Okay,
of,
well, you didn't know this when we started, but I'm tagging you the weather guy. Is this moving out? What do you got for us?
well,
The
next,
weather guy, Rick.
it's
Rick,
supposed
the
to be-
weather guy. What do we have? Is this moving out?
It's
or-
supposed to be spotty over the weekend, but next week's supposed to be beautiful.
Okay, good. Well, it's good to have you back. Let's see. Where do we start? Let's go note free. Well, Rick has some notes, and
Yeah, Rick-
Bruce will be back soon with his orange folder full of new information.
He's exploring coal mines around the country.
Yeah, exactly. If he comes back with the hat with the little light, we're not
Yeah,
Bruce, huh?
and a canary
A
cage.
canary cage. Well, we won't take time, but sometimes people need to understand what, like, the canary cage is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet kids don't know that.
They don't.
Bet they don't.
What's the canary cage? Why in the mines do they send the canary in?
Well, they have a canary in a cage, and as they go, are working or go deeper or whatever, they watch the canary, because if there's not enough oxygen, the canary will die first, or he'll get dizzy. I mean, I think if they watch the canary and it looks like it's on its last leg, they hightail it out of there. That tells them they're going to suffocate. Or something.
Okay,
They've got all the bells and whistles now.
we're going to
but
get
anyway.
into some serious stuff here, but
Yeah.
I have to tell you, if you know me very well, I get visuals of things. All right, so I'm trying to pass up a canary on his last leg.
Tweety bird.
Exactly. Poor Tweet's on his last leg. So I'm seeing him hanging onto the bottom of his leg.
I wonder where that came from, though.
All right.
Thanks.
All right.
All right. Nip it.
Okay. We have so much. What's with, okay, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never harm me. Listen to all these people that are supposed to be in these high offices, shows, that are just saying the nastiest stuff. Now, I understand, and then they're blaming it all on Trump, okay? Now, I just don't think Samantha Bee learned how to say what she said from Trump, okay? I mean, what say you with, like, everything that's took place this week?
Canadian born. She got her citizenship in 2014, and she said she's not leaving. She's here to fix the country. Really?
Gosh.
That's a fix?
But the double standard, how about that?
Well,
The surprising thing is, I mean, the double standard's getting worse and worse, and everybody
Okay.
talks about it. But the surprising thing to me, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, is that after the hullabaloo with Roseanne, all the hullabaloo and how they ostracized her and they canceled her show, then in 2 days, out comes this person, this saying this, and it's just amazing. I mean, she didn't even wait a week, and nothing's done. Her show's not gone. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Okay, may I say something? And this is no joke, okay? I'm very serious. I missed her because within 5 minutes I got a canary on one leg, and now I have hullabaloo. Okay? 5 minutes. I got, man, I really missed you. Okay.
when you said hullabaloo, he's thinking, you know, the,
All right, so
the women in the cages
Roseanne sends out a tweet and says, "Hey, what do you get when you mix Muslim Brotherhood and the Planet of the Apes go through town? What do you get?
I know it.
You get Valerie
He
Jarrett.
is not laughing.
No, you get
Doing
Valerie
his
Jarrett, right?
impression.
That's what she said. Am I wrong?
maybe. No,
then
you're not.
you tell the daggone story.
You're not wrong about what she said. You are absolutely correct.
That's what she said.
Yeah, equals VJ.
Yeah. She said, "Hey, what do you do when you
Is that as bad as decapitating someone? I mean, hello.
Well,
we
what
are
about?
not in the ballpark.
But what about Whoopi
my
with her shirt of Trump getting his brains blasted out? Right? Remember
Oh,
that?
I've seen that meme.
But
have
I
not
mean,
seen that
what is
shirt? Oh my.
what is going on here? So it's not I'm okay that Roseanne said that. It's
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. Okay?
Roseanne's been nuts forever.
Yeah.
I said the other day, what did you do? Wake up and figure out that Roseanne's crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, we've known she's crazy,
Right.
but
Right.
take the Roseanne out and take everything out. I will tell you this, what I found out this week, I did not know that Valerie Jarrett was an African-American woman.
Neither did Roseanne.
Did you?
Yeah. I did, and she has. I
You
think
knew
she's
that?
a Muslim as well.
But you knew that this
Yes,
week?
I
I didn't
knew
know that. I didn't know that.
She's got a African. I had to look it up,
I did too.
and it said her parents are both African American.
Right.
They were.
I knew that. Mark that down.
But I didn't know that. So now we find out you can't call African-American women, a monkey. Now I know how that sounds. No!
Oh my.
No! That's what she said. No, I didn't mean that's what she said. But that's what Roseanne said. Yes or no? Don't say, "Oh my God." Is that what was said? Is it? Am I wrong? Damn it, you got to take up for me.
I'm taking up for you. All right.
Is it wrong? Is that what happened?
You can't
That's
say the
that's
M
what
word.
happened.
The
Okay.
M word you can't say. The M word and the
N
M
or
word.
the M?
Well, the M. Mm-hmm.
Why does the
N.
poor monkey always have to get in the middle of
Well,
it?
it's in the context.
Well, there's context.
But then again, Bill Maher can call
Exactly.
Trump an orangutan.
Right.
Orange tang or something.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah,
Right?
it's because he's orange.
Right.
Yeah.
That means is I don't say it in that context. Even if I'm quoting someone what they said, I just can't. I couldn't get the N word out of my mouth. I just can't get it out.
I understand. And
but
I'm
they're
not going to.
covered-
All jokes aside, we're serious here in the discussion because I think what we're doing is trying to figure out have
Right.
people gone
Yes.
this crazy? Because all jokes aside, I'm not going to, never will call an African American woman a
Right.
monkey. I'm not going to do
I
that.
never would either.
But I'm just saying is okay. I mean, I made a joke this week. Well, there goes the birthday song. You can't say looks like a monkey and smells like one too.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
That's the last phrase. That's the last.
you can't-
I
Yeah.
had forgotten that. It's
You just-
older than Hullabaloo, that saying.
But I mean, it sounds silly out there, but in reality, it's just, why are they overjudging everything we do?
and getting away with it.
And wait a minute, and the consequences, I'm going to say it in a different way, and the consequences are only for a certain few.
They
got it?
they run for cover. They run for cover under the guise of being a comedian.
Well,
Now,
what do
if
think
you came on your
Roseanne
show in the morning and introduced yourself as BKP, this is the only comedy show in the mountains live on, then you can say anything you want.
That's a new opening. Write that down because I want to say anything I want.
You have to say you're
My
a comedian.
my hashtag is anything goes.
Anything goes, yeah.
So, sir, go around that.
Thank you.
Circuit World. We're at Circuit World. They're open. They got customers coming in. So every once in a while you see that. We try to let the customers know to go around. We appreciate them very much here, Circuit World Blue Ridge. All right. So seriously, all jokes aside, this Samantha Bee. What about Joy Reid?
Oh, I can't stand that one.
I mean,
disgusting.
I mean, this week, and what about Starbucks doing what did they do training? What was-
Sensitivity.
Sensitivity training.
Right.
Disgusting.
Really? I mean, you know,
If,
I wrote a new song. You know what they taught them? Yeah, you know what? At sensitivity training, Starbucks wrote the new manual, and if you go to work there, you have to learn to sing it. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in Starbucks sight. That's the new jingle.
No, let's change that. It'd be funnier. We can think of
You like
something.
that?
We'll bring back a new one next week.
Yeah, we'll get some more.
I like
It
that.
has something to do with the bathroom.
Oh, no.
That's the main thing. But I'll say, as a business owner, I used to have my own store. I had 3 bathrooms in that place, and I allowed customers to go to the bathroom in 2 of them. And if someone decided, or a group of people decided they wanted to disrupt me, that would be an easy thing to do. They'd just have people in line going to the bathroom, abusing the thing, making a statement, which is what these people did. I mean, everyone has common courtesy that I ran into. May I use your restroom? That I can't buy anything. I don't care. I mean, you can at least say, may I use it? And they stayed. They abused the whole thing, and they were making a statement, and that's what's infuriating.
Well, what gets me is if they want to call it racism, whatever they want to call it. I mean, it's experienced. We all experience it one way or the other. So one night I'm coming home from a high school football game, and I'm not going to tell you where I'm at, but I'm in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee. I'll give you the state. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. Okay, and I don't think about. I don't have any gas. So I get done with a high school football game, middle of nowhere, Tennessee, get in my car. I got an hour and 45-minute drive home, 2-hour drive home. I'm like, I have no gas. So I come out, and I am small town. So this town obviously knows everybody there, okay? This is everybody there. So I say, I better pull in this station now because I think for the next hour there's nothing but trees. So I better pull in this station and get gas, use the restroom, and buy something to drink, okay, before I get on the road. So I pull in, and I get the $10 in gas or whatever I get first. So they go in the door, and I get a Coke or whatever, we'll just call it a Coke, go back to the cooler. Lady is mopping, all right, and I look over here, and it says men's room and ladies' room, okay? So I go to get the Coke, I go to the counter, and before I go to the counter, I go over to the men's door, and it's locked. So I said, okay. So I looked at the lady, and I said, can I get the key to the restroom? Strike me. She looks at me and says, we don't have a restroom.
That must
I said, no. I said, man. Now, wait a minute. Tell me I can't use the restroom. Yeah, I'm looking right over here. It says men and women. I told you once we don't have a restroom. Is that all you need?
Oh, my Lord.
And I said, no, ma'am, I do not need that. and I wish there was some way I could get the $10 of gas out of my car. I'd rather run out on the way home than give you that $10. She let me know we don't have a restroom. Twice.
What was her problem, Deidre?
I was not from there.
Oh, Paul.
Oh, no. I walked in. I was not from there. She knew I was not from there. Period.
I can imagine someone losing an election here in Blue Ridge if they're not from there.
No. I wasn't from there. It was late at night. You don't get in that bathroom unless you're somebody local. Okay, so
you'd had to pee on the floor. I mean,
no. Let's not do anything on the floor.
Then the police would have come. I mean, if you'd had to. I mean, I'm just saying if you had to.
So,
going down here.
what do you say about Roseanne? Let's wrap that up. The Roseanne side. Do you think she should have been fired? What about ABC? Is it Isa? Is that the CEO? What's his name? Iger, right? He's CEO. What about him calling Valerie Jarrett first?
Calling her what?
He called Valerie Jarrett first.
Actually, I think it was the new CEO of Disney, right? The black woman.
Oh, I don't know. Valerie Jarrett was called first, is my understanding.
Yes.
From ABC. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
right?
let's just say that.
Is that correct?
That is correct. Factually correct.
So we will know no more about that conversation than we do Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch out there on that plane.
True.
So did Valerie Jarrett say Roseanne needs canceled? We don't know.
I don't know.
Who made the call?
I think it was already decided they were going to cancel Roseanne.
We had that conversation, and I agree with you.
Yeah, I do. Because
from the day that they put that first show on,
they were
going
to look for something.
And they said, "Oh my goodness, what have we wrought?"
Okay, are you upset they canceled Roseanne? Are you upset with the double standard? Are you upset that what's good for one is good for all? Are you upset with freedom of speech? What is your biggest thing out of that?
Well, that's all the same thing. I mean, that all makes the ball, and if you take a piece out of the ball, it won't bounce. That's just all making the ball, all of those things. And yes, I'm upset they canceled her show. First of all, I think it's going to everyone makes mistakes, and that's not the worst mistake that the other side's made, as you brought out, but it's going to backfire because she was the top show on NBC. I read ABC.
Yeah. Right. No. Right.
And
it's getting hard to tell the difference, right?
Yeah.
Liberal left is liberal left.
Yeah.
So if they if they would do that it's really out of spite and just to further their agenda. I mean, that's a shame. But I've read that Fox may pick it up, but. The ball is bouncing, but I'll tell you, I believe the air is going out of the ball, and that's why everything's getting so much more exaggerated. I do believe that we, the people, are standing up and making a difference in a lot of big ways, a lot of little ways. This show.
Okay, I will say this. There's a lot of people out there. I'm cautious when I say that are like us, especially not like me, obviously, but. There's a lot of people out there that are sitting down this morning and say, have we gone crazy? I believe that. I believe that's pretty strong in America today.
I think we've been saying that for quite some time.
But I think we've brought some millennials into the conversation now. I think we've
really? They talk?
Okay. That was pretty. They're texting each other. Okay?
Yeah, there you go.
Come on.
Are you mad too?
That's right.
So anyhow, I think some other people have gotten into the conversation. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, absolutely. To Jane's point, I think ABC had every right to fire her.
Okay.
They're the boss.
I said that. I agree 100%.
Just like the owners of the NFL teams have the right to tell their players, you either come out, you stand for the national anthem, or you stay in. They have the right to do that. If we don't like it as subscribers to that media or subscribers to that show or patrons of those sponsors, we have the opportunity as well to just say no. And I think that's where they're going to suffer.
Well, I think if
I mean, I'm like
But I was
Howard.
trying to
You remember
get it.
Howard Stern? Howard Stern was as colorful as they get. And he
colorful,
said, "You know
that's
what?"
a great. That I like the colorful. Yeah.
He said, "You know what?
FCC.
Turn
right?
me off.
Every
You got a
week-
right to turn the channel.
Every week he was fighting
And
a
that's
fine.
what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before he went to
Just don't turn this channel off, okay?
Before Howard went to satellite radio, and he was on traditional FM radio.
He was a shock jock.
He would. Okay, we know. So, but he had so many fines or violations, and it was the FCC every single day. But he would say, and not that I agree with it 100%, but he would say, turn the channel.
Exactly.
Turn the channel. Okay. So I think if ABC would have left Roseanne alone, they turned the channel off. Now, what about some of these people? Because I'm amazed because you're not going to convince me that people are watching this Samantha Bee.
I think
So,
they are.
I didn't even. I
didn't know who she
I've
was.
never heard of her. Mom.
Never heard
See?
of her.
And what channel is she on?
And we're in the know.
Apparently TBS.
I thought TBS, CNN, something. I don't know.
TBS.
TBS. I have
And
no idea.
to the sponsors' credit, there's a lot of them pulling out.
Really?
Yeah.
Well-
State Farm Insurance pulled out. My wife told me
Okay,
about
let me
one
ask-
other
let
one
me
I
ask
can't
you
remember.
this. Let me ask you this, and I do want to move on because we're not.
Yeah, we're beating this horse.
Yeah,
too
but
hard.
we're not 2 months away from where this lady gets up and under the guise of being a comedian, looked this close to Sarah Huckabee Sanders and just beat her down, called her a liar, her
Fat,
physical,
ugly.
yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
So I'm caught off guard by women. Let me see if I can frame this up because there's no way of doing this without getting in trouble. But I'm caught off guard by women that are not that support this and do not support that because I believe you support everything or nothing. So I'm a little caught off guard of who some of these women champion and why they leave some of these awesome, talented, brilliant, hardworking, professional women out there.
They're a threat. The
Is that what it is?
hardworking women are a threat to these people, I think. Why would you? I disagree with a lot of things, but I don't go saying those things about them, and that's what they. So they say, I'm a feminist. Give me a break. I'm a feminist, but this person's a this and a this and a that. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say I don't like her. She's horrible. Just don't say anything good about her if you don't like her. I mean, you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
If you can't say something nice,
Nice.
don't say anything nice.
That's not
Don't
as
say anything at all.
overblown, but it-
My mom tried that with
Yeah,
me.
me too.
Mama tried.
Yeah.
Tried. Okay, pardons.
Woohoo!
D'Souza, is that his name?
Yeah, Denise D'Souza.
Do you-
I follow him.
I know. I've read. He's got a couple books.
I love that
movies.
Had a little movie.
Did you
Oh,
watch?
the
did
movie
you?
I went
A little
to.
Did you
campaign
watch
violation.
Yeah, but did you watch the film of him?
Hillary's America.
No,
Sorry.
chill.
Why do I
Would you watch the film where he documents his time going to prison and everything that happened?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I mean, this
It's
this
awful.
guy did his time, and it's over a supposedly campaign contribution. So he's
Right.
going to be pardoned, or he is pardoned.
He is pardoned.
Okay, yesterday on the plane, my man, I mean, retirement.
Plago.
The retirement plan in Illinois is prison for your governor. That's your retirement
Now
plan.
that-
That's prison. All right, that's your
Yeah.
next step.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pardon him?
He's
Well,
talking
he's going
about-
to commute his sentence.
What do you think about that?
He's not going to pardon him. He's going to commute his sentence.
Right, we understand.
Yeah.
He's getting out. It's over.
Right.
He's coming home. But what say you with this Rob Blagojevich?
That was good.
Huh?
That was good.
Never missed Rob. when Rob was
And Joe DeGeneva. I mean, you.
Oh,
you-
DeGeneva?
Yeah, you got all those names down.
so pointing around. We have a new customer. Ma'am, can you go around that way to the counter?
Thank you
Sorry
very
about
much.
that. Sorry about that. We have to take our time. We got to work with our customers here at Circuit World because they need to get over there to the counter. This is a busy place, and JR's over there to take care of them. So Joe DeGeneva, but Rob Blagojevich, what do you think of that?
Well, I mean, you and I have had this conversation, so it's a little bit I mean, it's unfair for me to say the obvious, which is the way you feel, and I feel that same way. Trump, you know, you can't take anything you can't say anything where it's not taken out of context immediately and say, I think he was really trying to sell that seat.
Right.
He's never taken a nickel in his life, apparently.
Right. He didn't take anything, but now I have.
And Trump did the same thing.
Huh?
I really like, I kind of wish this Flynn thing was over.
I kindly made it. I kindly made a
collusion.
joke. I kindly made a joke on the third one that I didn't know why, and the only reason Trump was considering it so he could get the Martha Stewart brand sheets at half price. But so what about Martha Stewart?
Well, insider trading is insider trading, but I will tell you that I can't remember much of the details and how, I don't know if it's black and white, I really don't know. I do know that if you watch a Glenn Beck segment that was probably 2 or 3 years ago, how the Senate, the Congress can do insider trading.
Absolutely.
They can ask questions, they can vote for someone, then they can buy their stock before it goes after the IPO. I mean, they can do anything. So it's just unbelievable that I guess, is Martha now a felon?
Well, yes. Oh, yeah. She went to. I don't know where else she went, but I know she was at Alderson State Prison, or federal prison for women in Alderson, West Virginia, for a long time.
Yeah.
I think that's where she went to prison.
Yeah.
Alderson. There's a women's prison down there.
So do I think?
Again, double standard.
Okay, here
Look
is
at the Clinton Foundation.
here
What
is
do
my
they pay for play? I mean,
okay. Here's my comparables, whether they're so far out there or not. But it's just the way I see it. Okay, Trump pardons D'Souza. What did D'Souza do according to the federal government? He made a campaign contribution, an illegal campaign contribution. Now you have Stormy Daniels, $130,000, Michael Cohen, Avenatti, the attorney, and the allegation that's being made is Trump repaid him, didn't put it in kind on his campaign contribution, and it may be an illegal campaign contribution. Interesting, the parallel. Now you move on to Rob Blagojevich. Can't miss the hair, man. I got to give it to that guy. So Rob Blagojevich was allegedly sold or attempting to sell Barack Hussein Obama's Senate seat, okay,
to the highest bidder.
To the highest bidder. But basically, they've got tape of Rob saying, "Don't you think that seat's worth something?
That's got to be.
It's got to be worth something, right? Don't you think?" But he never took any money.
No.
Correct? Never took any money. So what are they talking about with James Comey and obstruction and conflicts and blah, 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 all the above? Well, what do you think about my buddy Michael Flynn? Boy, I hate to see him go downhill. Don't you think? I mean, there's got to be something we could do for him. Oh, my God. He was insinuating
that
he wanted something.
Collusion.
A quid pro quo. So that's wait a minute. I got one more here. I don't know how close I am to this, but I think I got a trifecta here. I would bet on the ponies with this.
Look at.
There they are. There's Rob
On Fox. Look at the hair,
Rob,
right?
Okay? So anyhow, he was an entertainer. Now I watched every night because this guy played the games, right? So anyhow, so Rob, okay, I think he's being considered for. What'd you say? I could say pardon. I can't say the other big word.
Commutation.
Okay, commutation.
Commuting his
okay,
sentence.
so that parallels. Now, Martha Stewart, just a thought. Remember the insider trading that supposedly Martha Stewart did benefited, was it her daughter, a family member? Right?
Doesn't matter, though.
Wait a minute, no. I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
All right?
I don't know who.
It benefited. Google it. Zip. Google it. Ask if Martha Stewart's insider trading benefited the daughter. Tell me. Make a move on that. Now, if it did, all you hear about are Ivanka's patents in China and how Trump said he wasn't going to do things to benefit his family business. Just saying. Just saying.
I got the three-way correlation here.
Put $2 and box it.
That's right.
Because you can hit all three of those ponies. That's just my take. What say you?
I'm still boxing that trifecta.
That's confusing.
No, it's
frankly,
not.
I did
No,
not know
no.
anything about Ivanka's
No, it's not, because
package. I
every
haven't
one
heard
of those situations,
There's a pardon parallel.
there's
Put
a
that
part.
together.
Yeah, there's a pardon parallel to something that Trump has done or said.
Now, wait a minute.
I think it's brilliant.
Wait a minute.
It's the
When
only
you throw
compliment
that,
I'm going to give you the
and
whole
when
day.
you throw that lasso around it and pull it tight, his final statement is, guys, let them put all the pressure on you they want because I'll pardon you.
That's right.
So, anyhow, so pardons. I'm okay with them. I mean, it is something that we have said the executive office of this country has the right to do, and he just does. We may not like it. I don't like the low-life piece of garbage that Clinton pardoned on the last day.
Oh.
Right?
Mark Rich and all.
Yeah, Mark
and
Rich.
More than that, and Obama the same way.
I agree. I agree. I don't like them at all, but I always cringe and say, well, we said the executive, right?
Yeah, but
has the power to do it.
the thing is that I believe that Dinesh D'Souza was set up.
No question.
It was a
Right.
setup. Martha Stewart said on the phone, as I recall, "What do you think I ought to do, or should I do this?" And she went and did it. She wasn't set up. I don't know who was recording her.
I understand. I understand.
But so I'm for Dinesh. Now, would I be for the other two? Although I think they were absolutely had a bigger sentence than maybe they should have gotten. Maybe not a felon. I mean, I don't know.
D'Souza, here's the striking thing. Now, I just gave you all that little scenario that I think could be in play in the thought of process of the city slickers. But D'Souza, okay, the interesting thing in the tweet is Donald Trump pardoned a man that Donald Trump feels the government wrongly imprisoned. Okay, I understand Martha Stewart or whatever, but our government went after this guy, and he is reversing a government. I understand Martha Stewart, Rod Blagojevich, but that one, to me, is a little different. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It is. That's what I was. But you think it's more justified or?
No, it's more justified, but it also highlights, if you put the list of things it highlights, is how the deep state works, and we don't know.
Yeah.
And when they want to take you down, he was very strong in exposing a lot of stuff. D'Souza was very strong in
Yes, he was.
exposing a lot of stuff. And when he exposed it, a lot of good people grabbed it and ran with it, and I think that's where we're at today. I think he's a part of where we're at today.
No
Of
doubt.
You agree?
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, and if you'll give me probably 75 seconds to read a piece,
Go for it.
it's gonna. Well, I don't know when you want to do it, but it's gonna really, really, I think, bring a lot of things to light. I got this, and I tell you, I'm going to send it to you, and I would urge you to post it on the Fetcher News site after
Is that
you
what
hear
you
it.
sent last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. You said a must read.
I
So I
mean,
said I'm
this-
not going to just gloss over it. I'm going to wait till I get the afternoon and read it.
You're
Yeah.
going to really like this because it's brilliant. What this? Do you want me to do it now?
Now let's take a commercial
Yeah.
because we got about 30 minutes for our pet of the week. When we come back, we want to talk about the summit with Kim Jong-un. We want to talk about Trump's new pen pal. That's Kim Jong-un. There's a letter being delivered. Who would have thought they'd be pen pals?
I know,
Trump
right?
sent a letter. He's sending a letter. I like it, okay? So, anyhow, it's got some third grade standards, especially that's what the English teacher
That's
said.
exactly right.
Right? You like how I pull that all
I
together?
did. I did.
Okay, anyhow,
I
we're gonna
thought
talk
about
that.
Jane when
I was
when
thinking
the
the
swimmer
same.
was.
I was going like
Big red pen.
That's right.
All right, and so
See me on this.
Oh, I hate it. You had to do that.
Yes, see me on this.
Oh, that you just shot my nerves. You ruined my day. You reminded me of the teacher.
You remember
playing,
those, right?
Oh God, see me on this. Oh, God.
gee,
now
what
I got to go up front. There's 28 people
I'll be
looking.
standing in the corner for the next 30 minutes.
Exactly. Count those dots over
Yeah,
there.
I'm going to read this when we come back, okay?
Okay. One more thing. Tariffs. What do you think? And I don't know. We got a couple other things we could talk about, right?
Yep.
We'll figure it out.
Sure.
Right after these messages.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I've had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love, because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, where we do see the sun shining this Friday morning. And we're at Circuit World here, and JR's over there ready to make deals. And they're talking to people about washers, dryers, refrigerators, TVs, more customers coming in. This is getting to be a busy place. So JR's going to meet them at the door. That's the kind of guy he is. Okay, we're back. Let's go with tariffs. Tariffs for $500.
I'll put this away.
All right. Well, no. You want to do that right now? I didn't know if you had brought that in anticipating closing with it, or you want to do it now.
It's great discussion, but
if it's relevant, go.
Okay.
You have your glasses on, so you got to.
That's right. I'm not going to go into who this guy is. His name is Jack Minzy. He passed away recently. Department of Education. I'm going to ask Brian to post this on Fetcher News. It's actually brilliant as to what's going on today. Civil war. How do civil wars happen? Two or more sides disagree on who runs the country. They can't settle the question through elections because they don't even agree that elections are how you decide who's in charge. That's the basic issue here. Who decides who runs the country? When you hate each other but accept the election results, you have a country. When you stop accepting election results, you have a countdown to a civil war. The Mueller investigation is about removing President Trump from office and overturning the results of an election. We all know that. But it's not the first time they've done this. The first time a Republican president was elected this century, they said he really didn't win. The Supreme Court gave him the election. There's a pattern here. What do sure odds of the Democrats rejecting the next Republican president really means? It means they don't accept the results of any election that they don't win. It means they don't believe that transfers of power in this country are determined by elections. That's a civil war. There's no shooting, at least unless you count the attempt to kill a bunch of Republicans at a charity baseball game. But the Democrats have rejected our system of government. This isn't dissent. It's not disagreement. You can hate the other party. You can think they're the worst thing that's ever happened. But then you work harder to win the next election. When you consistently reject the results of elections that you don't win, what you want is a dictatorship, which I think is what we just came from. Your very own dictatorship. The only legitimate exercise of power in this country, according to Democrats, is its own. Whenever Republicans exercise power, it's inherently illegitimate. The Democrats lost Congress, they lost the White House, so what do? They began trying to run the country through federal judges and bureaucrats. Every time a federal judge, which is what they're doing now, issues an order saying that the President of the United States can't scratch his own back without his say-so, that's the Civil War. I'm almost there. Our system of government is based on the Constitution, but that's not the system that runs this government. The Democrats' system is that any part of the government that it runs gets total and unlimited power over the country. If the Democrats are in the White House, then the president can do anything, and I mean anything. He can have his own amnesty for illegal aliens. He can fine you for not having health insurance. His power is unlimited. He's a dictator. When Republicans get into the White House, suddenly the president can't do anything. He isn't even allowed to undo the illegal alien amnesty that his predecessor illegally invented. A Democrat in the White House has discretion to completely decide every aspect of immigration policy. A Republican doesn't even have the discretion to reverse him. That's how the game is played. That's how our country is run. Sad but true, the left hasn't won that particular fight. When a Democrat's in the White House, states aren't even allowed to enforce immigration law. When a Republican is in the White House, states can't create their own immigration laws. States can create their own immigration laws. Under Obama, a state wasn't allowed to go to the bathroom without asking permission. Under Trump, Jerry Brown can go around saying that California is an independent republic and sign treaties with other countries. The Constitution has something to say about that. Whether it's federal or state, executive, legislative, or judiciary, the left moves power around the country. If it controls an institution, then that institution is suddenly the supreme power in the land. That is what is called a moving dictatorship. Donald Trump has caused the shadow government to come out of hiding. I think we would agree with that, right?
Oh, yes, we would.
Professional government is a guild, like medieval guilds. You can't serve in it if you're not a member. if you haven't been indoctrinated into its arcane rituals, if you aren't in the club, and Trump isn't in the club, he brought in a bunch of people who aren't in the club with him. Now we're seeing what the pros do when amateurs try to walk in on them. And he's calling Trump the amateur and Trump's
Right.
staff. They spy on them, they investigate them, and they send them to jail. Mueller. They use the tools of power to bring them down. That's not a free country. Listen to this, folks. It's not a free country when FBI agents who support Hillary take out an insurance policy against Trump winning the election. It's not a free country when Obama officials engage in massive unmasking of the opposition. It's not a free country when the media responds to the other guy winning by trying to ban the conservative media that supported him from social media. It's not a free country when all of the above collude together to overturn an election because the guy who wasn't supposed to win did. Have no doubt we're in a civil war between conservative volunteer government and a leftist Democrat professional government. Isn't that a brilliant piece?
Yeah. Obviously, I did not articulate that, but I have said pretty boldly several times we're in a civil war.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted to bring it to light, because you've heard it here on this program, folks.
I've said it's not what you think of, or it's not what they are allowed to leave in the history books, because they've redacted so much.
Rewritten history.
Let me tell you something. If you think they redact FBI memos, our history books have really been redacted, have
Exactly.
they not?
Unbelievable.
All right.
And that's been going on forever.
Right. So, but Civil War, we're in a Civil War?
Yeah.
We are.
Absolutely.
We are. And it could escalate. When you were reading that, it brought to mind, you remember when Obama would make several speeches at a certain time near the end of his presidency where he would say, well, I wish I could run for a third term.
Oh, yeah.
He floated the idea.
Dictatorship.
And I wondered if he was hoping that they would rise up and demand
Apparently, even
a
it came
third
out in
term.
Ben Rhodes' book that he said, I think I could have,
I could have won.
I told
I could have won, yeah.
I could have won that election.
Well, when you said unmasking, I mean,
Samantha Powers.
my apology, because I wish we'd have started with that, and we could have just really worked an hour with that,
We can
and we'll
do
do
it
it
next
again.
time.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, I am shocked that the American people are just not in an uproar of unmasking citizens.
They are.
Now, okay, you're probably right. But what we mean here, and I'm gonna put it in a box, and Rick, correct me when I'm wrong. But basically, if you are in communication with another foreign government, or could even be family, if you're making international phone calls, okay, you go to a different level of what they can listen to.
Yep.
Correct. Just
Exactly.
the fact that you're making an international phone call.
Correct.
Right. Now, it goes to another level if you're making an international phone call to another government, obviously, but just an international phone call alone. Then it escalates to what they're paying attention to. As an American citizen, if they feel they need to pay attention to try to stop a terrorist attack, whatever it may be, if you're a U.S. citizen, they cannot unmask, meaning know your name. They can't give. You have to be citizen one or
They used to
right.
couldn't. Now they can.
Well,
Then
no,
they could.
no. There's only
Now
certain
they
people that
can't.
can request. Remember the Trey
You know how many
Gowdy?
people that escalated to, though? I mean,
But you remember
Valerie
the-
Jarrett was releasing. People were releasing.
Samantha Powers.
Samantha that shouldn't release.
Yeah, but you remember the Trey Gowdy when he asked Comey, "Does Samantha Powers have the?"
Right.
Now what they have to do is they have to request. Samantha Powers didn't have the power to unmask. She had the power to request. They had to do it. Okay. Only I think the FBI can unmask. Oh yeah, right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but they can request. So all of a sudden we have these people what did they say? Samantha Powers was doing it on a daily basis?
Yeah.
It got to where she's doing it on
One a day.
One a day.
Yep.
I thought that people
Like vitamins.
that didn't have the authority to unmask. I thought that there was someone that did that was a big deal.
No, I think what happens, that's where we get into the lying clapper and
Lying Brennan.
Lion Brennan. I think that's where we
Ryan
get into
Comey.
that. I think people that did not have the authority requested unmasking, and they did.
Oh, the people didn't have the authority to request.
Right, and the
I knew
FBI
there was
followed up
something
with
they
it.
had no authority
So
to
that's
do,
a very
they
good
did.
piece. I know we got our pet of the week. It's 9:42, and I want
Thanks for letting me read that.
No,
I think it's brilliant.
that was
I'd love for you to post it.
that was well worth the time.
Go this way, please.
That was well worth the time. We appreciate it. Okay, quickly, tariffs. 10% on. I love they're calling him the nerves. Trump, the nerves of steel. I love the fact. I know if we go into history books, if it's not redacted in yours, we can read about and we can get into arguments on whether tariffs worked or not, so on and so forth. But Donald Trump is the EU. I think it's been hid from you, the American people, of just how detrimental the EU has been to this country. We've been sold a bill of goods that it's Iran, which it is, and it's these countries in the Middle East and stuff like that. But truthfully, we have been hid. It's been hid from us. Agree? It's
been hidden.
Of the detriment the EU has been to your country. Then NAFTA. They use these shell companies. They ship these products into Mexico. They ship these products
Into Canada.
And then Canada has beep, beep, coming through, free. No tariffs, no costs, nothing, free trade. We're bringing it in the country. Trump said no. What say you?
Trump said no. And
Now, I know we could discuss the tariff thing of the pros and cons, but what say you?
cutting all the way through the minutia, he's going after China.
Because
they're the worst abusers.
China is the one that's destabilizing through their support of their industries. They subsidize them. They send all this stuff out into the EU. It comes into our country, just like you said.
He's exactly right. The EU's being exposed to the.
So is Canada.
what they've
So
done.
is Mexico.
Because wait a minute, we have. China's only allowed to send so much, a percent of raw steel to this country. That's our deal. So they say, oh, guess what? We've got a lot more we could dump and crash your market. So here's what we'll do. We'll use the EU, funnel through a shell company, we'll ship to the EU.
That's
the
right.
EU will then ship to Mexico and say, screw you, USA. Sorry, no way to put it. Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
It all goes back to China.
Yeah.
But somebody has to have the nerve to put the brakes on.
Well, listen, no one's wanted to because they're all involved in that deep state thing except Trump. But when you think of these countries, think of Little Red Riding Hood, the wolf dressed up like grandma.
Right.
That's what these countries were doing.
Exactly.
The EU and Canada dressing up like grandma. China's just.
And they got caught.
Yeah, and it's going to work.
Trump says it's over.
It's going to work. He's not doing tariffs just to do tariffs. He's stopping this. But I have one good thing to say before we go. So before we go,
We'll close, but I want to go with one more thing on the tariffs. I hope, and I know it will happen here, because when we shrink the trade deficit, I will report it, and I hope the media will. Because when it finally comes out that Donald Trump is the first president in X years to shrink the trade deficit, watch and see. All right, I'm going to give you your last thing. I know we got to get the pet in, but we got to talk about Rocket Man. All jokes aside, Pompeo has the vice chair chief of the dictator is over here. They had steak the other night. Doesn't Pompeo look like a guy you want to go out with steak?
And have a beer and a
right.
steak.
And
Yeah.
corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Man, put some butter on that corn. Man.
I'm going to have the loaded potato, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to have the loaded potato. Bacon bits. All right, he looks like... But
he's my winner of the week, by the way.
Pompeo's
my winner.
He's got the guy
Thank you, Cindy.
in here. He's got the guy in here, and they're making a deal. They're down at the nuclear. Here's the fear China has, is we could be the top winner in the region. We could be the ones that turn out to be the friends of the North Koreans, friends of the South Koreans, Philippines, Vietnam,
Japan.
Indonesia, right?
Yeah.
We are going to do that.
Taiwan, right?
Taiwan on.
But is it Taipei? Is it
Yeah.
That was
Taipei.
really good.
Right?
Yeah.
It's Taiwan, but China still calls it Taipei?
Yep.
All right, got that right. Wow,
Yeah.
pretty good. Anyhow, so we could be the winner in the region. This is a
That's
big
why
deal.
Russia is all of a sudden. hey, we welcome you over
Sergey,
here. Come on over.
Kislyak is down there
Yeah.
saying,
Trying to
hold
horn
the
in.
brakes. So, summit, does it happen, not happen?
I think it happens. It may not happen the 12th, but I think Pompeo's my winner this week, folks. I think it's going to
You
happen.
like the direction it's gone?
I
man?
really do, and I think he came away. He didn't say much. He didn't come on gloat. He didn't no pie in the sky. He was very direct, and we'll see what happens in this letter today that's being hand delivered.
What about you?
It'll be
No, I
interesting.
think it's going to work. It's going to work because what Trump is saying to North Korea, I believe, is that nuclear weapons. So what? If we're your allies, if we protect you, don't you want prosperity in your country? And we are going to help you have a prosperous country, and you're going to remain in power.
And you'll be recognized
And
by
you'll
all
be
the other nations of the
recognized, and
world.
that's what he
And he's going to
wants.
send him a Chevy. You keep thinking it's funny. I'm going to watch this dude drive around. You think I'm laughing?
I
Are
think
you
he needs a
laughing?
Chevy that
He's
looks
going to
like a
send a
rocket
Chevy.
ship for rocket
He's
man.
going to send a Chevy over to the burger joint. They're going to have burgers. They're going to have Chevys. It's going to be. I'm telling
Didn't you love that?
Yes.
He wants to open a
absolutely.
burger joint?
Absolutely, sir. So absolutely. So anyhow, they're going to have. He's going to have one last thing on this. So he's doing a good job. Is it going to happen? I think so, and I think it's going to happen. But what is amazing to me, I pick up these little things that I really like about this President of the United States, is he dictated this letter word for word. He dictated. He didn't have somebody. He didn't give.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Oh, he wrote this. He wrote this letter word for word.
Regardless of what that English teacher.
He said, hey, come in here. Word for word. Boom. Let me read it. That's it. He wrote it word for word. He sent it. And they're like, hey, we got a letter from the United States. Pompeo? No. This one came directly from Donald. All right. Now he's getting a letter back directly from
Hand
Kim.
delivered.
That's great. Okay. Final word.
Final word is I would encourage everyone that's watching this to download what Rick just read. This probably is the crucial, the most important concept that we all need to think about, and it's happening, and you need to get educated on that. Think about it and share it. And don't get discouraged, because how do I know that we are winning? You look at Trump's talks in Tennessee, there are thousands of people still. Thousands of people wherever he goes. They come out in the rain, and I will tell you, they're the people, we are the people who are going to rise up. You don't hear about us because no one talks about us.
We're standing by, hanging
no
on to
one
our
shows-
guns and religion.
Yeah, no one knows about who's in the audience, but listen, there are so many people in this country that are strong, that are for Trump. There are millions of them. And when the time comes, if need be, they're going to be there. So get educated on that.
Good to have you back. Next week, if you're available, stop in, be with us, and I want to hear a little bit about your travels, and I know they want to hear. Oh, is it boring? Okay. Well, come back and bore us anytime, okay? Thank you. I know Pompeo's your winner. You got something else?
Loser of the week, Trey Gowdy.
Absolutely.
Won't go into it in detail. We don't have the time.
Do you have a coin? I want to flip that sucker in the air, right? Trey Gowdy, Trump had every right to fire Sessions.
Did he do it?
No. Trey Gowdy, he wasn't spied on. Heads you win, tails you lose. Oh, Trey, yeah, I got it.
Trey Gowdy, loser of the week.
Interested in that. Okay, so we have a pet of the week coming up right after these messages. I appreciate Rick. I appreciate Jane. Rick sent me that sometime last night, and had some other things going on at the house. And when he sends me something and says a must read, great read, I save it for a time where I can sit down and absorb it. So I did not read that. I appreciate that. But we will put that on Fetch Your News opinion section, okay? So the opinion section, we'll blast it out on social media for you to be able to read that. It is a great piece, and everybody should read that. I do not like saying we're in a civil war, but the reality is around us. It's our way or the highway. That's the Democrats. And Nancy Pelosi, who would have thought our pet of the week is coming up, and who would have thought Nancy Pelosi's an animal lover? But she is.
What kind kind of animal.
MS-13. Right. I'm your host, Pet of the Week. You're getting my jokes now. It only took 2 years. Take us to break.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love, because
Hey, and we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and we're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, and it's time for the star of the show. We wait for this every Friday at this time, our pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Rena, I want to thank you very much for bringing our friend down today. Who do we have?
This is Taylor.
Taylor. And who is Taylor?
Taylor was found by a friend of a friend about an hour from here. She had puppies under the porch or on the porch or something like that. She had 7 puppies, and he wasn't sure what to do, so he contacted a friend who helps us a lot, and they contacted us, and we had the room, so we took in Mom and her puppies. The puppies are just right about 7 weeks now.
Now, these are the puppies we've been talking about a couple weeks.
Yes, these are the 7 puppies.
That are going through the intake and all the things before they're able to be adopted.
That's correct. They just got their first shot, and they're being treated for parasites.
Now, on the puppies, if I remember correctly, puppies, you foster them.
They would be fostered to adopt once we can let them go.
Once you can let them go, you can foster a puppy.
Yes.
In the anticipation of adopting, but you actually maintain until they're able to come back to be spayed or neutered.
That's correct. Which is usually around 5 or 6 months, depending on size.
So if you want a puppy from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, and thank you for we want to say thank you for the puppies, Taylor. If you want a puppy from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, you have to go up, foster, and when are these puppies available?
It'll be, we have to wait for their next, they have to have 2 shots.
Taylor.
So at least the second shot. Taylor, over here, look, there's a treat, honey. There's a treat.
So they have to have their second shot.
Yeah, and that will be for another 3 weeks. So probably around 4 more weeks at least before they're able to be fought. And we do have a pending adoption on one of them. So we have 6 puppies available.
They're not ready, but you could come.
Oh yes, you can come view them.
And you could ask to have your name on.
That's correct.
The list to adopt.
Yeah, you do the regular procedure.
Then you're just waiting for the time.
Yes, you go online, you fill out, you ask us the name of the puppy that you're interested in.
So in a roundabout way, they are available.
That's
you
correct.
just can't take them home yet.
Right.
Okay.
And as soon as you're able to, we will let you take them home, and you can foster to adopt.
Well, we know the kids get all the attention, Taylor.
Yeah, so we got to get back to Taylor.
Yeah, let's talk about our friend.
Taylor's looking for a home too. She's about 3.5 years old. She is a wonderful, wonderful dog. What is that noise?
Taylor, that is that phone over there that I forgot to turn off.
That's okay, because it really shows her prettiness with her ears up. We're not really sure what kind of a dog she is. As I said, she just kind of wandered up on someone's porch and had some puppies. She's small like a... you okay? She's small like a, what are those cattle dogs? Australian Shepherd?
Yes.
Or Blue Heelers?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. She has some bug eyes like a pug, so we're really not sure what kind of mix she is, but she is a sweetheart. She was good in the car. This was her first adventure out. She's a little nervous, but she did very well. She's a little nervous here, but as you can tell, she's just a wonderful dog. She still has to be spayed, obviously, because she was nursing up till just a few weeks ago. And she is heartworm positive, so she will go through the heartworm treatments. She has started them this morning, was her first one, because we couldn't give her anything while she was nursing for obvious reasons. But you can also foster to adopt Taylor during the heartworm treatments. You can give her the treatments, and you can keep her at your house where she's calm. And we do everything. We give everything to you, and then once she's gone through the treatments, she can be adopted also. But she would make anyone a wonderful pet. She loves going for walks. She loves her squeaky. Do you have her squeaky?
No.
Oh, she must have dropped it. Oh, here it is. She loves her squeaky toys. Gets her excited, and she's just a really, really good little dog, and she'd be great. This is as big as she's gonna get. So what is she? 30? I think she's 30 pounds. So. Like I said, she has to go through some heartworm treatments, but we've had quite a few dogs that have gone through the treatments, and they've been fine, and they have all been adopted out. So come see if Taylor is a good addition to your home. And of course, if you want to view the puppies, you can come on out, and we will show you the puppies. You cannot touch them yet because they are in intake. And when they're done with the intake process, you'll be able to touch them. But once you view them, you will actually want a puppy because they are absolutely gorgeous. They are so cute and so much fun.
Folks, these are, this is absolutely Taylor. You can see Taylor is absolutely very calm. A beautiful young lady here, very calm. I really enjoy you just sitting here. You can see Taylor, come and visit Taylor at the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, and that's humanesocietyofblueridge.org is their Facebook page, and then it's Humane Society of Blue Ridge, Humane Society of Blue Ridge Facebook page. They have several. You can see all the dogs and cats that are available. humanesocietyofblueridge.org has all their information, where they're located, their phone number, how to get in touch with them, get there, make arrangements. All the above is on that website, but give them some physical information of where you're at and how they can contact you.
Okay, call us at 706-632-4357. Come visit us at 171 Mineral Springs Road, which is just off of Aska. We are open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 2. We are closed Tuesdays and Sundays. And follow us on Facebook, as Brian said, and go to our website. You can see the adoptable dogs and cats. We have many cats and kittens. If you are a cat lover and you're looking for a cat or a kitten, please come out and help us find our cats and kittens some homes too. But come on out and see what we have, and see if we have anything that can be in addition to your home.
Help us find Taylor's forever home today. humanesocietyofblueridge.org. This is our pet of the week. You can always find this on our website, fetchernews.com, and also FYN TV Fetcher News. We put a little segment up on Pet of the Week every Friday. So thank you, Rena, for bringing our star. And that's our show for the week. That's it. We'll be back Monday morning, 8 a.m. Good morning from the office. Don't forget, we're here at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Take us out of here. You guys.